Well, what we've seen in the market and what clients are seeing is that there's been more and more new players entering this market. Players that have been in the market doing facilitating trading, but not necessarily in fixed income. People like the MTS, which is owned by the London Stock Exchange. Singapore Stock Exchange is coming to market with a new process as well. And they're reaching out to the OMS providers and buy-side clients to see, can we support your workflow within this new system we're developing? Globally, with all the different regulatory agencies, no matter which side of the pond you're on, you need to be able to prove to your clients, which you are stewarding or investing their assets, you're able to prove to you're doing a good job doing this, and being on top of being able to source liquidity, being able to provide transparency. And one of the newer things that's coming down the road now, which we never had in fixed income, is trade cost analysis. What is the cost of putting on a trade? It used to be very straightforward, but now with all these regulatory costs, or trading at a central trading spot, there's inherent costs for everything you do. So people don't really know what the true cost of putting on an investment is. So there are systems, trade cost analysis systems, from players like an ITG, who are looking to somehow take this model they have for equities and have had for a long time, and put this on the fixed income side of the product. So even though the regulators aren't going to require this till at least about another year or so, people are already starting down that road, ready to provide this to clients. Can you provide me transparency? I want to see my transaction costs and these new venues that I can actually get trades done at. So we have seen a lot of inquiries, not only from the vendor side, but from the buy side. And so as a vendor ourselves, we have to make sure we're the intermediary and allow everybody to play nice with each other. And so we spent a tremendous amount of time, boots on the ground, visiting both clients and our vendor partners to make sure that we're ready for this change before someone knocks on the door and say, oh yeah, by the way, we need you to hook up with these guys tomorrow. So it's been an interesting time in the market, and having been a person who's been around fixed income for almost 25 years, there's been more change in the last couple of years than there has in the previous decade. So it is curious to see how this will finally shake out, because as we know, 20 years ago, the street was littered with electronic trading facilities that never made it as a viable product. So now it really looks like, both mandated by the government and client demand, these solutions are going to come whether you like it or not. So I know that some of our larger clients still, I think it's only like 20% of corporate bonds trade electronically, as opposed to like 75% of treasuries that trade electronically. We really think that number is going to start growing on the spread product. And so it's a slow, people are loath to put large blocks of anything on an electronic system in fixed income, but what they are comfortable doing is doing the smaller flow business, such as rebalancing fixed income ETFs. So I think you're going to see more fixed income trading, but in smaller pieces, as people get used to the electronic trading. And it's the whole chicken and the egg. People don't want to go and trade some places liquidity, but you can't get liquidity unless you're posting trades to trade there. So people aren't sure which venues are going to make it, but now with the backing of basically government mandates to push this through, it's going to happen. And we've already seen it on the swaps market, which is now, I think the swaps have gone from virtually no electronic trading to almost 60% electronic because of Dodd-Frank. You have to trade on a SEF. So that happened in 2 years. And we joke, and there's a great analogy that people use, is that when you think of the markets, you can't just stop the markets and stop trading while we put in this new system. The markets don't stop trading, so the analogy I always like to say is, it's like changing a tire in a car while it's moving. You can't pull it over, we can't stop trading so you can put these new rules in. What we can do is give you dates that you have to start adhering to these rules. So it is an interesting time to be in the market, and a vendor that sits between the buy and the sell side, because the amount of change is tremendous. Probably the most I have seen in the last couple of decades. So.